Hello everyone, it's Geisha. Welcome back. I've got my journals here. These are traveler's notebooks. They have a particular size. And these are regular journals. I thought it would be fun to make a video to show you how I go about making my journals. And we'll start with a traveler's notebook. It's small enough to tackle for anybody if you want to come along and craft with me, although it's not going to be a craft with me video, but more like sort of. And these are the bigger ones. This is the one that started it all. This is the one that started my YouTube channel. Nick the Booksmith made a challenge for people who wanted to participate, and I thought that would be fun. So this is the journal that I made for that, and we'll go about all the pros and cons about certain journals. So let's talk about a traveler's notebook first. So a traveler's notebook is more an insert in a bigger notebook, and the term traveler's notebook is so that you can take the smaller one with you and put it in your purse if necessary to write in it and everything. So a traveler's notebook is officially 4 1/4 by 8. And I don't mind the 4 1/4, but I thought 8 was quite long, so mine are usually 7 inches tall. And I collect about 12 to 15 papers. Well, if I can get away with more, I will put more in, but about 15 papers. So when you have 15 papers, you fold them in half, gives you 30 papers and 60 sides. Okay, so you have 60 sides to either write on or add pockets to. Now for a traveler's notebook, I usually make one every time I travel. And I found out that I need pockets for receipts and things that I want to collect. Otherwise I would have to tape them to a page, and that will occupy a page. So I do pockets. And of course a lot of writing space, a game or two in there, and some other fun papers just so that you have something pretty to look at. And so that's a traveler's notebook. This is another one. And I now close them with a hair elastic that I sew in when I sew in the pocket in the back. I have an envelope in here, and remind me to go over everything. Pockets made out of fabric, and this is the upholstery fabric, so it has the paper still on it, so it makes it nice and sturdy. Perfect for a pocket. And that's this one. This is very nice paper that I made from a jelly print. And same here, a jelly print on wallpaper. So we'll do a traveler's notebook first, and I will go over the pros and cons of something like this. Oh, sorry, I'm not even in frame. This one versus that one. So this one is made like the traveler's notebook, collecting lots of papers. This is my garden notebook that I keep track of what happens in my garden. And I have so many papers, and I will then, let me find the middle, sew through it all, straight through to the cover. But if you have bulk, actually this is not bad. See how it doesn't lay flat? So with this one, for instance, I sewed 2 signatures onto another piece of paper that I then glued to the cover. And wherever I open the page, see how nice and flat it is? So this is a good way of constructing a journal. But we're going to start simple and do a notebook first. So I will be collecting 12 to 15 papers. It can be coffee dyed ruled paper, it can be from a dictionary or a book, or pretty paper that you painted, or construction paper, ledger paper, all that kind of stuff. Sewing paper. I have a sewing pattern here, it's old, and I take the instructions out and I will cut it up to the size that I want, and I will use that. And then you're going to say, yeah, but you can't write on it. No, but it's fun. I mean, that's what a junk journal is somewhat all about. And even though they're traveler notebooks to write in, you can still use paper like that to adorn your journal. I'm not sure if I said that already, but I will make a few videos how we construct this, and they will be short so that you can craft along with me. Gives you time to collect things. I hope that they're not going to be too long, and they might take a couple of weeks. I will be coming back right away when I've gathered a whole bunch of papers, and then we'll go through the papers and see what we like and what we don't like. See you in a minute. All right, so here I have a bundle of papers. So this paper comes from a school book, and it has writing space on one and graph on the other. So yeah, I came across it in the secondhand store, so I picked that one up. This is just a sketchbook paper. This is regular printing paper that I put some food coloring on, diluted with water. I wanted to see how strong I needed to make it for it to show, and I'm quite disappointed with the food coloring as a dye. This is tracing paper that I coffee dyed. I really like the look and the feel of it, so we'll incorporate that. This is construction paper, packaging paper. I found a little bit there. Can't make a journal without a Tim Hortons bag, not here in Canada. So I dye a lot of my papers, and then I will run them through my printer to put lines on. And I'm sure this is a dyed paper with fabric dye. This is dyed, and because this one is, it feels chalkier. So I dilute acrylic paint with water and then treat it as a dye bath. And these two papers are done like that. So now I have some papers that are not necessarily writable, although this side is. And so a coloring page, no idea if I ever will color. This is an interesting paper that I wet the paper. Actually, I dampened the paper, and then I shook dye powder on it. And the dye powder was a mix to make it a certain color. And then when you put it on a paper, all the colors, all the powder separates again. Very interesting. Don't do that too often because you gotta wear a mask and everything. This could be a watercolored paper. I thought it was quite interesting. This is a book page from Edith Holden. She writes very nice about nature and everything. So this is a pattern. This is the pattern where it comes from. And I will cut whatever I want the size to be. And, you know, I'm not going to use the whole page because it's quite large, right? Oh, the back is clear, so I can write on the other side. I always like to incorporate a calendar page, and I really liked this side, so this one is probably going to go in. This is a book page that I dyed, but I used some metallic paint in it with it, so it has a sheen to it. And then you're going to say, well, you can't write on here. No, I can't, but if I add gesso to this side, I can write on it. So I will probably add gesso here and leave this alone because this is quite funny. Another book page about birds, how to keep birds, and ledger paper. So I will be folding everything in half, cutting it to size, and come back when that is done. Okay, hang on. No, I'm going way too fast. To make pockets, this time I decided I was going to use my own papers. I don't know if you can see it. This is metallic paint that I spritzed on it. And I will be cutting strips to add to the sides or to sew into my papers as pockets. Here's another one like that. Now it doesn't say that I'm going to use all of them. This is one of those papers that you add salt to. And this is one of those papers where you add paint and then you put cling wrap on it and then you let it sit. You wrinkle the cling wrap and then you get bumps and nice texture. Dyed paper. This is dyed with painted, I think I would say. Oh, there's also salt on here. Interesting back. I spritz some colors on plastic and then you just push this on the plastic, and that's what happened here. And this one, and this was cheap kids paint, fingerprint paint that I just go wild in. We'll see what happens if I am going to use it or not. So I will get back when I've kind of assembled my pages.